hold on to your MAGA hats, folks. Donald Trump has just pulled off a tariff policy backflip that would make an Olympic gymnast jealous. Just when the world was ducking for cover, expecting another salvo of trade war missiles, the Don has slammed on the brakes, calling it a timeout on his tariff tantrum. As of April 9, 2025, the Trump administration has flipped the script on its earlier chest thumping, tariff slinging ways, leaving allies, enemies, and economists scratching their heads. What's behind this dazzling pirouette? Let us break it down with a smirk and a wink. Because if you can't laugh at global trade chaos, what can you laugh at? Now, picture this. Early 2025, Trump is strutting onto the trade stage like a bull in a china shop, pun intended. He slaps a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico starting March 4. Maple syrup and tequila prices quiver in fear. Then, on April 5, he drops a 10% baseline tariff on everyone, just to keep things spicy. By April 9, he is cranking it up with reciprocal tariffs, 11% to 50% on dozens of nations, all under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Trade deficits are a national emergency, he roars, probably while tweeting from the Oval Office washroom. It is peak Trump, loud, brash, and a little unhinged. But wait, plot twists ahead. On April 9, 2025, he spins around faster than a reality TV contestant dodging a scandal. He announces a 90-day pause on those sky-high reciprocal tariffs for 75 countries. Sorry, China, you are still in the naughty corner. The baseline tariff sliced back to a tame 10%. Allies like Japan and the European Union breathe a sigh of relief, while Canada and Mexico keep their USMCA goodies tariff free. Energy is at 10%, potash gets a hall pass, and semiconductors and pharmaceuticals dodge the bullet entirely. Meanwhile, China is getting the full Trump treatment. Tariffs jacked up to a jaw-dropping 125%, piling onto earlier 20% hits from March. Analysts whisper it is a jab at Beijing after Xi Jinping stonewalled him in talks. Classic Trump. If you can't win, tariff them to death. This pivot's got US businesses reeling from supply chain nightmares and Canada's retaliation threats doing a cautious happy dance. It has Trump trying to thread the needle between his America First bravado and the pesky reality of global trade. Who knew he could multitask? So, what has got Trump tap dancing away from his tariff tirade? It is a cocktail of chaos, cash, and some good old fashioned arm twisting. First, the economy threw a fit. When those tariffs hit, markets went full toddler tantrum. US stocks nosedived 1.8% on March 6, and supply chains started choking harder than a cat with a hairball. Big shots like Boeing and the Consumer Brands Association were screaming bloody murder. Higher costs meant layoffs, and your morning coffee or banana smoothie was about to cost you an arm and a leg. Trump might love a fight, but he is not keen on explaining why your grocery bill is suddenly a car payment. Then there is the international shade throwing. Canada waved a $155 billion retaliation stick ready to clobber US soybeans and machinery. The European Union, not to be outdone, prepped 26 billion euros in countermeasures, think wine and cheese taxes that would make your charcuterie board weep. Mexico was muttering darkly about its own payback. Trump is no dummy. He knows a trade war could leave American farmers and factory workers high and dry, and is not about to let maple syrup moguls and tequila tycoons ruin his winning vibe. But here is the kicker. That 90-day pause, what about it? It's a sly move. He is dangling it like a carrot to squeeze concessions. better trade deals, tighter borders, and a posse to gang up on China. Genius or desperation? You decide. Back home, even his own crew started grumbling. Some Republicans and economic advisors, probably sipping lattes in panic, warned of inflation boogeyman. Auto parts, groceries, you name it. Prices creeping up could tank his approval ratings faster than a bad hair day. With midterms on the horizon, Trump is not risking a voter revolt over a $5 banana. So he dials it back, except for China, where he is still swinging. It is bravado with a side of please don't hate me, and it is pure Trump theater. What does this rethink mean? Well, it is a mixed bag of few and what now? Economically, that 90-day pause and 10% tariff trim have markets exhaling like they just dodged a meteor. Analysts were sweating a global meltdown earlier this month, but now tech and retail folks, those supply chain junkies, can unclench a bit. March was a bloodbath. Remember that 1.8% stock drop? So, this feels like a timeout in a bar fight. But hold the champagne. China's 125% tariff wallop is a gut punch. Sure, it might rake in $206.6 billion for Uncle Sam, but it is also jacking up costs for importers and shoppers. Your average Joe could be out $1,900 a year, enough to make you cry into your overpriced latte, especially with inflation already lurking like a bad ex. Trade wise, it is a buddy cop movie reboot. Canada, Mexico, and Japan, previously smarting from 24% tariffs, see a lifeline. Canada is dreaming of permanent exemptions if they plan nice on border stuff. Japan is eyeing tech trade peace. But China, it is the villain in Trump's script. And this rift could send supply chains scampering to Vietnam or the global south. Nations licking their chops at Beijing's misfortune. It is Trump's grand plan, but some allies might balk at picking teams in this Cold War 2.0. So, what about the manufacturing dream? It is a coin toss. Some companies are fleeing China's tariff hell, eyeing United States or friendly soil, but that 10% lingering tariff could spook bigger investments if the world stays shaky. And the big picture, Trump's early tariff blitz spiked the US average to 24%, which is the highest since your great grandpa was born, rattling the post World War II trade vibe. This pause eases the sting, but the USMCA is looking wobbly, and America's trade cred is sporting some serious bruises. It is less a fix than a cliffhanger. Stay tuned for the next episode. You never know when he'll change his mind again. Trump is not just pausing, he is playing favorites with waivers, and it's a global soap opera. Canada and Mexico, they are the golden kids. USMCA goods stay at 0%, and those March 4 25% tariffs tweaked. Energy is down to 10%, potash is free, and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is dropping hints about working something out. And this could be translated to play a ball on fentanyl and migrants, and you might dodge the tariff stick forever. It is North America holding hands while Trump keeps one eye on the polls. Then there is the 75 country club, everyone but China. That 50% tariff threat, now it is 10%, a temporary my bad to South Korea, which was to face 25%, Japan, the European Union, and even India. Yes, India. $83 billion in exports like pills and saris in 2024 dodges a 24% hit. It's a lifeline for Modi's crew, but they will need to sweet talk Trump on trade gaps and patent spats to lock it in. Why the generosity? Strategy, baby. Japan and Taiwan are Trump's friend shoring. most valuable partners for chips and tech. Gotta keep them happy to box out China. India's tech rise could score points too if they cozy up to Trump. Who else? It is also a negotiation flex. Fix your steel, South Korea, or pharma prices, India, and maybe you are in the clear. Plus, Trump is dodging a trade war to save United States exports $40 billion to Canada alone and keep inflation from turning his blooming economy into a punchline. It's a breather, but the clock is ticking. Will they deal or will Trump tariff again? Trump's tariff tango is a wild ride, from blanket screw you to a pick and choose charm offensive. China's still in the crosshairs, but the pause and cuts elsewhere scream, I hear you, to the economic and diplomatic whining. Will these waivers stick? Depends on the haggling. For now, it is Trump juggling trade deficits and United States swagger, proving he is still the king of chaos, just with better dance moves this time. Curtains up. What's Act 2? If you have liked my video, please do like, subscribe, share and comment. Thank you.